All right, legends, we are live. I am actually worried, guys. I am worried. I am very, very worried. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. I'm only joking, guys. This bounce gives us a lot of information. We'll be going through the technical analysis and trying to understand why this drop has very likely finished for the moment. We are going to be holding the very low $90,000 major base support. This will be explained today with some pure technical analysis. We've been holding that value area low from this entire trading zone of November, December, part of January, right? We're just at the very, very low stage here. Is this a head and shoulder scenario? We're going to be breaking down. My goodness, this looks horrific. We did get a significant bounce of a few $1,000s throughout the last 24 hours, right? After those major dips, very choppy, but we were looking for a little bounce. We did get the bounce. Now we are dropping. Main reason why we are dropping, we got the news coming out. The economy is doing just fine, guys. We have unemployment rate at 4.1%. It was expected to be 4.3%. Previous was 4.2, so unemployment is going down. Economy is doing just fine. Non-farm payrolls, 256K. Forecast was 200K. Unemployment going down. Economy is doing just fine. That means that risk on assets, nobody wants to hold them, right? If the dollar index is strong, if we do take a look at the dollar index, well, dollar index is going to the upside. So, hey, we are just doing fine, so we don't need to have all of these risky cryptocurrencies, right? Might as well hold on cash or other different assets, right? So, economy is just doing quite okay. So the effect that we've had here with unemployment rate going lower has brought a little bit of a big correction, right? We've got a little bit of a corrective move here to the downside, or a small little crash, if you wish. We're going to be analyzing, most importantly, the movement to the downside and what this pump that we have had throughout the last few hours, right, throughout late last night or early this morning, gives us a lot of information, guys. This is what we needed, right? We needed this kind of movement to the upside, because let me just talk about locally of what's happened here, right? We haven't got any major fancy indicators or tools or Bollinger Bands and clouds and moving averages. We don't need all of that. We need to basically understand the waves and the market structure that gives us a lot of information using a bit of Fibonacci, right? So we're going to go right away into that, okay? First of all, this major downtrend that we were, patiently counting the waves to try and understand, guys, there's going to be some kind of reversal. The highest amount of volume was in this candle. Volume is decreasing here as we're chopping, okay? This is all of those people that want to long early that are just getting chopped out, and then you get the first bounce. Now, this movement gives us a lot of information and a new different type of trading opportunities throughout the next coming hours, next couple of days. Now, we are going to be entering into the weekend, and weekend is very well known for the choppiness, right? Don't get any major volatility. We won't find a $10,000 move throughout the weekend. That would be very, very rare. So what we're expecting throughout the weekend is movements of $1,000, $2,000, maybe $3,000, right? Which is going to give us some very interesting trading scenarios, right? I'm not a huge fan of trading throughout the weekend, but we do have some great levels and some great speculations on some waves that could happen here for the Bitcoin price. This is why you are here, because you are going to know about the different trading scenarios and the technical analysis. Thanks to this movement to the upside, we have broken the downtrend structure. Let's just keep the structure, price action, something very basic, guys, where we do know that looking at this downtrend, right, we're just going to zoom in here ever so slightly with that choppiness that we've had throughout the last 24, 48 hours, where you are forming lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows, lower high and a lower low. And now we have a confirmed higher high right there with this movement that we've had throughout the last few hours. Now you might think, okay, are we going to form a higher low here? Are we going to dip down beneath the low and then get a bounce? There are a few scenarios that I want to talk about eventually. We are already forming some very interesting bullish CVD divergence. There's a lot of selling pressure coming here throughout the last 30 minutes, right? Because of that major news, right? Economy is just doing quite well. So why would I have my money into these risky assets if there's no recession? Everything's going just as fine, right? and I'm getting my cash out, right? So now we're getting this dip right over here, which is purely based on news. Now we're going to understand a little bit of this drop. Eventually, you do have a bit of, this is volume based on news, right? This is a bit of a, movement down. This high volume is not too reliable because it's purely based on news. Now, I'm going to go quickly. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, legends, because this is super important that if you do not hear me or see me, all right, let's go. Make sure to destroy that like button, guys. If you do enjoy the content, let me just quickly go through the comment section. Then we'll analyze a little bit of this move of Bitcoin, right? Let's analyze this local situation because, yeah, we got the major drop. Eventually, we are looking at the S&P 500 getting a bit of a movement to the downside as well, as we can see here when we do zoom in. All right, so stocks are going down, which is bringing, Bitcoin and risky assets to the downside as well, which is not bueno, not nice, okay? But we're entering into the weekend. I can already tell you that there is a very low probability that we're actually going to break down in between today, tomorrow, right? And Sunday as well. Will it be on Sunday? Maybe. But there's a low probability that the price breaks down successfully from these lows today or tomorrow, right? That's something that I know that it's highly likely. And that has to do with this movement to the downside. First of all, keeping it simple, you broke this local downtrend structure because you have lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and a higher high right there, okay? You got the first higher high, and you got just one move here to the upside, one wave, right? It's very rare to create only one wave and then suddenly break down, right? This is just something that we would have to be looking at something else. So the probabilities right now in having a breakdown today, successful breakout down, not testing the lows, because we could test $91,000, maybe even 90K, but I would be expecting a huge major bounce if we were to come down there in the coming hours. And I'll explain that here with a little bit of technical analysis, okay? But for the moment, it is very, very low probability, right? I would say there is a 90% chance that we are going to hold this area and we're actually going to claim this high at some point in between today and tomorrow, right? So, that is something, that is a bit of information that I can give you, right? That's something that I know based on this movement to the upside, breaking the structure. Then looking at the waves, we can analyze a little bit of, okay, now we got a bit of, the side of, yeah, we're likely going to bounce and we're likely going to go higher. Not only because of the structure, also based on the analysis on Elliott wave theory, looking at the confluence levels and looking at the liquidity, right? Yeah, we do have some pretty significant liquidity here at 96, 95, 97, right? That range above the highs that were formed today, there is some pretty nice liquidity, right? So we do have a bit higher liquidity here to the upside. There is still liquidity to the downside. So we're going to talk about, hey, what if we move up? Could we then move down? Or if we move down, could we move up? We're going to be talking about that, guys, the most important scenarios, but I can already tell you that the price has extreme low probability today or even tomorrow to break down below 91,000 successfully. And successfully means going down to 87K, 86K, right? That is unlikely to happen today or tomorrow. Could it happen in the next coming days? Absolutely, yes. This is without a doubt a possibility. So every price action is giving us new information to look for possible trading setups, right? And now talk about day trade scenarios. I cannot give you a proper swing trade right now. Could have this been the low and this is going to hold and we are going to be mooning here in the next few days to all-time high? I could say, yeah, there is a possibility. I mean, there would be a count here. Why not? Some people are speculating here on this. I actually got some people in the Discord saying, could this be the low? If this were to be the low, I would have to count it like this, right? As this being a regular zigzag, right? Kind of a WXY, not an ABC, because you have a very, very complex kind of waves inside of here. You have a flat right over here. This could be also a flat right there. So, and this a double zigzag. Could this be the end? It could be. I don't think so. I don't think this would be the low. We have a lot of volume to the downside. This could just be a first initial wave, you form a wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, and then you possibly get the recovery, right? So we need a lot of more information here to try and understand, okay, guys, this could be the low because we formed 5 waves down here, right? And we do have an ABC, right? This would be a crucial moment, right? If we do come down below $90,000, forming these kind of waves in the coming days, you know, I will be the first one to say, okay, guys, we're in the 5th wave of the possible C wave, right? You know, we're going to bounce now. This is a swing long trade, but we haven't got that information. And this looks very poor for it to be the low. There is an option for this to be the low without a doubt, either in an ABC or a WXY. And this has been the low. You claim the liquidity here from the 30th of December low. So you already tested the low of the range, right? Also with value area low, right? You can speculate value area low here has been tested. The low here has been tested. And this is what the price likes to do. Test the highs, boom, test the lows, bang. Are we ready? Or do we need a little bit more of an aggressive dip down, right? To then get the recovery, right? Sweep up all of that liquidity with a proper move. I think that is still a possibility, right? Let's just keep it that way. There is a reason to believe that this impulsive move down has been very strong just because of the, you know, how aggressive it has been with high volume. So we need to lean on the side that getting a bounce here in a 3-wave structure, either in a zigzag or a flat or whatever, right? This could be a correction that is happening throughout the next coming days. If we don't see any big major moves up with high volume, I have to come to the conclusion that, yeah, you know, guys, if we're moving up to this range and volume is very, very low, very choppy, right? And we just chop in here with a 3-wave move, either in a zigzag or a flat or a complex WXY, I have to come to the conclusion this ain't looking good, guys. We should have been moving up with high volume, and there's high probability in breaking down again to test the lows. So the coming days are going to give us a lot of information, right? For the moment, the information that we have on the lower time frames is enough. It's enough for me to believe we ain't breaking down today, guys. We ain't going to break down from $90,000, $91,000 successfully. Could we test it? Absolutely, yes. This is why I want to talk about some scenarios that you need to set some alerts, be ready, take your own decisions, because I'm just a crazy guy on YouTube, and, you know, charts are ridiculous. Technical analysis is ridiculous. It doesn't, you know, there's no probabilities here on the charts. The price will do whatever it wants, right? All of those people that do not know how to do technical analysis and don't understand the movements, they'll eventually say that, right? People that understand will stick around and will say, okay, you know, I get your point. I know where you're going, right? I know where you're going. I know that, you know, there could be a probability here. So let's go right away through the comment section. Say hello to the beautiful community, guys, while I'm just getting a drink of water. Smash up that like button if you enjoy the technical analysis, just going through. You know, we don't need to zoom out too much. When we zoom out, it's the same story, right? The story changes throughout yesterday and today. Let's focus on what's happening, right? In the last few hours, what could happen in the next coming hours, right? That's what's exciting. Let's go. Right. Need a degree in psychology, not economics, says Jason. Okay, yeah, that's mainly what happens, right, when you get into the investing trading game. Gulian, how are you doing, my man? Hi, Andy from Australia. Hope you're doing well. And update on Supra would be awesome. Stay humble. Absolutely. We will take a look at Supra later on. Okay, we're going to take a look at a few altcoins throughout the end of the stream. Of course, as always, people are here for the Bitcoin analysis. Altcoins will do what Bitcoin does, right? And for the moment, yeah, altcoins can be a little bit rangy because I expect Bitcoin to be a little bit rangy. Bitcoin takes a little dump of 2%. Altcoins are going to take a 5%, 10% dump, right? So altcoins, most of them will do what Bitcoin does. Of course, we do have AI agents and some other different ones that are in that, you know, nice little bull cycle, right? They have their own little bull run, right? AI agents, we know that have been doing pretty good throughout the last few weeks. So they're probably going to do a little bit of their own thing, right? The niche cryptos, they hyped up. They will do their own thing. They won't follow Bitcoin in the short term. So let's go. Unknown user. Hi, Andy. Do you prefer Ethereum or Solana? I have to say I prefer Ethereum. If we're talking about technology or the price action or the returns, I'll have to say Ethereum. Ethereum, completely decentralized, much more than Solana. And I have to say, if you ask me about the tech and decentralization, I would eventually go with Ethereum than Solana, okay? Can Solana be faster and rest of it? Yes, of course. But for decentralization, this is why crypto has been created. I would have to say Ethereum. Jordan, how are you? Flash crash. Yes, sir. Flash crash has been created because of the news. But overall, on the technical analysis, it was about time that we did get some kind of pullback. It would have been nice to ever so slightly go to higher levels, but we were trying to get above a point of control here, right? There is a, a point of control in this region, right? Whether you get the volume profile here, a lot of consolidation. You got a high volume node regardless, right? Right over here at this zone. I mean, depending on where you get it. Depending on where you get that, you got a big high volume node right over here, which is providing a little bit of that resistance, right? These high volume nodes on the volume profile, we do know that it doesn't have to be the point of control, but it has to be a big spike on the volume profile. That is what is providing a little bit of resistance here at the $95,000 range, right? And struggling to break out. So overall, kind of expecting some kind of a corrective move at some point. And there is a simple reason why, because we have moved up in a one wave, right? We've moved in one wave, and it would be very rare to just still continue like this very, very nice uptrend that we have had throughout the last, 10 hours, right? It's just been a very, very steady staircase going up. At some point, you are going to get that corrective move, right? Just because it's one wave. And what we want to see here, just based on Elliott wave theory, right, and the market, is either a 3-wave or a 5-wave, right? Now, of course, this 3-wave can be a possible flat scenario. I have to come to the conclusion eventually that this has ended, right? This wave here has ended. It's been very complex and choppy here, a lot of micro waves. Very, very difficult to try and understand, okay, which is going to be the end of the 5th wave? Are we in the 4th wave, as we were talking about yesterday? Could we form a larger bounce here yesterday, form a flat, and then come down? Well, we did form this movement to the downside here throughout late last night after this bounce, with a nice 5-wave move to the downside. So we have to come to that conclusion here that in the end, we finally finished right over here, right? And the main reason why I can say that we have finished this impulse is because of this movement to the upside, right? Because right now you have the possibility of a flat here, but it doesn't look too good. It doesn't look too good. There was a chance here for a possible flat either here, and then moving down, and this being the 5th wave and this being the 4th wave. But just because the market looks pretty good with this movement up and breaking the structure, I would have to come also this movement to the downside looks pretty impulsive. When we zoom in here, this movement, I mean, when you zoom in, this is a perfect 5-wave move down, right? When you actually analyze this price action that we had late last night, it's a perfect 5-wave move, right? It's just, this is what, it would be ideal to see the charts like this. 5-wave move up, 3-wave move down, 5-wave move up, right? That would be very easy. But of course, the market is not going to make it that easy to count these waves. But what is pretty clear is this last one that we had late last night, right? This is like pretty interesting to see that it's like a perfect 5-wave move down. 5th wave was a bit overextended, but nevertheless, it's 5-wave moves down. And when we do analyze this in a 5-wave move down, it does bring the possibility that, maybe a flat is not possible, because inside of that B wave, you want a 3-wave structure. So that gives me the conclusion, right? That tells me and gives me the conclusion that, very likely we have finished this movement right over here. And thanks to the break of the structure, which is lower low, lower high, lower low. And this is important, guys, because a lot of people will just zoom in too much it will zoom in too much. And I have to be the first one that says this here, because you can get confused with this structure right over here, right? Because if you only focus with this structure, you will believe that this has been a higher high, right? Because when you take a look at this movement, you got a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a higher high. So couldn't we form a higher low here, which we did get a little bit of a trappy movement, and then continue to the upside? Well, that is when you need to zoom out ever so slightly from the actual downtrend that has happened throughout the last few days and realize that your last lower low is this one and your last lower high is this one. Previous to that one, it is this one right over here. Previous to this one, here, here, right? So this movement to the downside did not claim, okay? We claimed the lows, creating a new lower low, meaning that this has to break this lower high to break the structure, not this one. Very important to understand. And the main reason why is because we had to break down, okay, which is the last one here, the last lower high after this low. It is this one. Which is the next lower low? It is this one. So it's not this one. It is not this one. It's this one, because this has been the bounce from this low. So this was a little bit of a trappy zone right there for anybody that thought we're breaking a bit of structure, right? Kind of a descending wedge, right? We're breaking the wedge. You know, any breakout traders that are entering here to basically get to the top of the wedge, we're getting trapped and stopped out at the lows. So now it changes the game, of course. Now I'm pretty much confident to say that it's not going to 100% happen, but as this movement has happened, now we have broken the downtrend structure, because this was the last lower high after creating a lower low. Lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high from this downtrend. So it's official. It's official that we have broken the downtrend. And we are likely going to be ranging, and we are not going to break out tonight or tomorrow from this low successfully. Okay, so I think that's pretty much obvious just with the market structure that we've explained right now. So what are the different scenarios? Well, there are several scenarios to look at this movement right now. We need to come to the possible conclusion that on the higher time frame, the ultimate bears are going to say that this is a head and shoulders setup, and that we are going to break down at some point in the coming days, right? We're going to break down successfully in the coming days. And we're going to go to 85, 80K, maybe even lower than that, right? That would be the overall classic, basic technical analysis. This is a head and shoulder. It's a massive top. It's going to break down in the coming days, guys. Get out, right? That's what the macro bears would say. The bulls will probably say that it's going to hold, right? It's going to hold, and we're going to go to higher levels. This has been the end of the correction. We've claimed the lows of the range, right? Not of the entire range, of, you know, from this mini range of the last couple of weeks. It's a ABC already right there, and now we have a green light to go up, right, guys? It's not going to break down. It's going to be a fun, you know, we focus more on the daily, on the lower time frames, right? To understand what are the local movements and the probabilities. I have to say, I'm leaning on the both sides, right? On higher time frame, I have to lean on the side of this might be the low and it could recover. I don't think it's the highest probability, but it could happen. I'm a bit of a 50-50 situation here, legends. But I also recognize that, yeah, we could go to lower levels, right? And this meaning that this has been a first initial wave one, right? This has been an initial wave one. And how we would want to count this is like this, right? We only in the first wave of the C wave, keeping it simple. In a C wave, we would want to see 5 waves down. Okay, either in a contracting move or whatever. We'll have a lot of information in the coming days to say, guys, we could be very close to the low and we're looking for an epic reversal. We need more information. We need more price data here to understand what are the probabilities on the higher time frame. On the low time frame, it's more clear, which we'll focus in right now. Of course, the ultimate bullish case scenario would be, we've already formed 5 waves down here. We've already formed 5 waves down. We already formed that C wave because there is a 5 wave count here. And this is the bottom. It's time to absolutely moon in the coming days. It's possible. It is possible. And this is why the information in this area is crucial. What I do know is that there is a high probability in forming another wave to the upside to claim the highs that we have formed today. With this drop, no matter how aggressive it looks, with or without taking out this low, okay, just focusing on this, and we're probably going to take it now in the next coming minutes. There's a higher probability in this scenario taking out this high than actually breaking down from this low, forming a higher low or testing the lows and coming back up. So this scenario of breaking down here, bounce and breaking down here, unlikely scenario. What is very likely is either a higher low, which we're bouncing right now, test the highs, or if you test the lows, come back up to the highs, because breaking down from here is highly unlikely to happen today or tomorrow. So overall, we're looking for those highs of today to be claimed again with a possible breakout. We got a pretty significant bounce here throughout the last few minutes. We are recovering pretty nicely. I mean, this was a little bit of a dangerous area to speculate on the short, but just because we had the news could have been bullish, it could have been bearish, which, you know, in the case had a bearish reaction on the lower time frame. Got into a little speculative small short position in this range just because of the choppiness. But, you know, I was preferring another zone to short at slightly higher levels. And right now with this movement to the downside, I would be a little bit skeptical on shorting that scenario. Okay, it could get a small little rejection, but it could happen, right? We're going to talk about the major levels and the different scenarios right away, guys, on the lower time frame. Quickly go through the comment section and say hello to the beautiful Wipeout. Any longs, no pun intended on my name. You need to be a day trader. You need to be ferocious, guys. I am more of a day trader than a swing trader. I can turn day trades and swing trades. I take most of the profits throughout the day, 2 days. But you can trade safely, shorting and longing, especially if you're quite ranging, okay? If you are interested in getting into some trading setups, right, we need to be very defensive, have tight stop losses. You can trade the range, take profit as you go. I absolutely love Weeks. I've been testing out Weeks, guys. Weeks is a great platform. You do have a great bonus down below, guys. Check it out because you just need an email and a password to sign up for Weeks, guys. Check out the link in the description. Weeks right there. If you can trade on Bybit, I would go with Bybit. Bybit is one of my favorite. But Weeks, I've been testing it out. Highly liquid and very legit, guys. So just an email and a password. You get the biggest bonus available, which are airdrops to your account. Check it out. Let's go with the scenarios right way. We're not going to do altcoins yet, guys. We ain't doing altcoins just yet. So overall, I think you did get the point of, yeah, Bitcoin is likely to come into this zone with a successful move or choppiness, then either breaking down from this low. Now, could there be a possibility in forming a flat? You know, that would be very interesting, right? If we were to come down from this zone here and bounce back up without claiming this high, there would be an epic long position. But I think it's not going to happen. The market ain't going to make it that easy. We're probably going to finally reach out and break the highs here at some point in the next coming hours. But the ideal scenario here, which is kind of pretty obvious and would have been an epic trade, would have been coming down to sweep up the lows. Just because you broke out this downtrend structure officially with this movement up, this would be a very small correction in a one wave. It's one wave here. We basically got one wave as a bounce, which would be extremely rare to break down here afterwards, right? We could still form a lower high. We're forming a little bit of a three waver here. It would be interesting if we form a lower high here and move down very aggressively. I mean, I would be interested in a swing failure pattern from the lows. And that has to do with, an ABC flat. I would be interested in ABC flat here, because I realize that this could have been the end with high probability. This is the end, thanks to the breakout of structure as well. And because of this latest move that we formed late last night, very 5 wavy, which is decreasing the probabilities that this, and this could be a flat. Regardless, you do have the shorting levels either here or here. You could still speculate on that movement down. However, with this movement and the break of structure, it gives the probabilities right now that, you're going to be ranging and that you're not going to break down these lows successfully. Could you test them? Absolutely, yes. This is why I would be interested in that scenario. If we were to roll down without taking out these highs that we just formed the last few hours, I would be extremely interested in a failed breakdown. We don't know how severe that could be. It could be a move of $1,000. It could be a move of $2,000. Wick down to 90,000. Possibly. I don't think it's going to happen, guys, but it's just a scenario just in case we form a lower high and we start moving down aggressively. I would really consider this scenario. And of course, the other scenario that looks like is the one that's going to play out, that you form a B wave here and a C wave. And this would be the bearish case, right? This would be the bearish case. C wave can be explosive. It could look very pumpy, right? We're just about here to claim those highs again. It was just being a flash crash. We're probably going to test the highs and maybe break out in the coming hours. Now, what was forming here throughout the movement to the downside, we probably bounced at some previous day value levels as well. Probably bounced at some, we didn't have any major levels looking at the, probably the daily open. Yeah, not even the daily open. Yeah, just wick down basically. The previous day value levels, pretty empty zone. Got a bit of a high volume node, but previous day value levels is not giving us, major levels of confluence here because of the bounce. But what has formed has been some very strong bullish CVD divergence, right? This is an aggressive long entry, I have to say, because you're kind of catching a falling knife. You're kind of catching a falling knife here. There's no big major reaction. You probably bounced at the 50% Fibonacci, golden pocket. Oh, almost just touching the golden pocket here. Almost touching, basically touching the golden pocket. Yeah, golden pocket was touched on this. Yeah, golden pocket never disappoints. Never disappoints. So you got this rally here throughout early this morning and this flash crash hitting the golden pocket. I mean, there's not much confluence here, I have to say. Well, just the golden pocket is kind of enough. Golden pocket on its own is a massive level. So that we bounced basically almost $2,000 from the golden pocket now after this flash crash. It's a bit of a falling knife situation. Not an easy trade. You just have to put stop loss, give or take a bit of room here beneath the golden pocket if you want to take that chance. Because if you break golden pocket, you're looking for 7, 8, or maybe even lower. You can't depend on this empty zone adding to position or any of that. You just need to have it's a very aggressive long trade. Let's leave it that way. It's just not an easy trade to catch a falling knife at the golden pocket. We could get the reaction at the golden pocket and enter a little late. Stop loss beneath the golden pocket. Very, very aggressive scalp long, I have to say, because there's not other confluence. Well, there was one confluence here if you wanted to long the golden pocket from this rise that we had here throughout the last few hours earlier, you know, basically throughout the day. And that is the CVD divergence, right? From this pivot low, a huge amount of people selling with the news. You got this low right over here formed late last night. And you do have lower lows on the CVD, right? So that means that there's a lot of shorts entering right there. Matter of fact, here on Bybit, just on Bybit, we can see over 16 million on the delta. So there's 16 million more shorts entering here on that movement, giving you that bullish CVD divergence. Now, this could be a huge amount of trap shorts in this zone. We've got higher lows on price action, lower lows on that CVD, telling us that, yeah, taking out this high is highly likely at some point throughout the day. So this was a very aggressive long position, I have to say. Just before the stream, it was happening, getting a bounce at the golden pocket. So would be defensive on that. Breaking above the VWAP here very nicely. Yeah, it does look like we've seen a bit of strength here. Not too much volume, but compared to this candlestick, which is news volume, we cannot rely on that news volume. But yeah, overall, a little bit of a V-shaped recovery here happening throughout this drop, which is very likely going to take out those highs. Would I long here? Absolutely not. Would I short? No. It's just not a trade zone here after the news. You just need to be careful when the news is happening. So what would be the different scenarios, right? What are the other scenarios, trading plans that we can get ready here, right? What if the price moves like this? What if the price moves like this? You know, this is what we need to come to the conclusion right now, because in this area, for me in this area, is a no trade zone. Well, actually, there could be a long scalp scenario. There could be a long scalp. Yeah, there could be a long scalp on a retracement here. And the main reason why is, I mean, if we were to get a pullback, a little pullback could be a little bit of an aggressive long. And the main reason why is because if you've moved down from this pivot and you are forming an impulsive move down in a 5-wave structure, you have basically retraced too much already with this movement. Taking a look at Fibonacci from this high to the low, you've retraced already to the 7.8 Fibonacci, the 0.88 Fibonacci. This movement down is going to be looking very interesting if we do get it, if we don't just rocket here and take out the highs. For this to be an impulse right now is extremely unlikely, just because we've retraced here too much. If we were to count this as a wave 1, wave 2 in a triangle here, bit of a triangle right there, a wave 3, your wave 4 cannot retrace this high. You know, you're basically overlapping the wave 1 as well. So that is giving you a high probability that you are going to take out this high at some point in the next coming hours. So, I mean, a pullback from this level would be looking very interesting when we analyze the CVD divergence. I mean, it would be nice. It would be nice to get some local bullish CVD divergence, get some people shorting the market right now to create that higher low and get an aggressive move down here on the CVD, form any local lower lows. It doesn't matter wherever it is, from here or from here. Get those lower lows on the CVD. Let's bring them. There could be a long setup here. Let's see how we move down if we do so. That will be an aggressive scalp. We would just have to put stop beneath the low here if we get those bullish CVDs. but it's probably not going to happen. We're probably going to V-shape here. It's probably going to V-shape and take out those highs. Just because this cannot be counted as an impulse anymore. And the highly likely scenario is either you take the highs or you pull back and then you take the highs. So it would be an aggressive long. I don't want a long here eventually, guys, at the top of this bounce. We need to analyze a little bit of the data that we do get here throughout the stream. But right now, with this movement to the upside, decreases the probability that this is going to successfully move down here. Okay, so if we do get that pullback, you know, the golden pocket zone, 50% golden pocket is going to be looking very interesting if we do form those bullish CVDs. I'm not sure if the VWAP, VWAP is just too close for a retracement. Ideally, you would want to come down to around about this area. Because if this is an initial wave 1, which it does look like it, you would want to retrace to 50% to the 7-8. This would be your chance to look for a speculative long, right? And on the 1 minute time frame, you would speculate on the order blocks, right? Yeah, you would basically use this kind of an order block right there. It's going to be we are coming down now, so let's see how the price action develops. But we want to see those bullish CVDs. Let's get that CVD moving down here. Let's see if we do get those CVDs moving down throughout the exchanges. Get some people shorting. We want some people shorting right now, speculating that we're forming a lower high and that we're going to claim that low. And then we form a higher low and bang, we take the highs of today. But the ideal level, would be down here. Not sure if we're going to get it. Let's see. We want the best risk to reward. If we long in here, it's a problem of stop loss, right? If we do long here, it's a stop loss situation. You don't want to put, if you put stop loss here, you're going to get stopped out maybe. You don't want to put it here eventually. Ideally, you want a proper pullback to 50% to 7-8. So it's a very, very difficult long to manage if we do V-shape from here and take out the highs. Ideally, we want that pullback in this zone, which is 50% to 7-8 zone. This is going to be an interesting area. Eventually, what you're looking at here is the long area. Stop loss at the low, you're looking for the highs to be taken. Just because it decreases the probability that this is a successful impulsive move down right now. So we're going to be analyzing a little bit. Let's see if we do get that drop to this area, which is 93.7, 93.2. And this would be an interesting area of choppiness, where we do have a kind of an order block right there as well on slightly higher time frame, right, from this choppiness. This is going to be very interesting. And we want to see those bullish CVDs. I mean, that would be the best scenario. I would not want to short from here, me personally. I personally would not want to short just because of this massive V-shaped bounce that has retraced a little bit too much. Looking at this. So we are moving down right now. Let's see how we move down to this box area, guys, in the next coming minutes. But let's go to the higher time frame, just getting a little bit of a scalp scenario here. As we are streaming, it's very much a possibility. But higher time frame now, the question is, let's go focus still here on the higher time frame, of course, for the next coming hours, next couple of days, what we could expect entering into the weekend. And we'll zoom in right now, guys, on the lower time frames and go through the comment section. BTC going to 30K soon, says Mod. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, soon. Well, that has to be at least in the coming weeks, right? I would give it weeks at a bare minimum to go down to 30K. I wouldn't say soon as in the next coming days, it would have to be weeks, if not months, to get as low as 30K. So the bullish case scenario would be that this is an impulsive move up. We're forming a second wave right now in this area. And we are going to explode out in a third wave, right? We're coming into the weekend, so it's very unlikely to happen throughout the weekend. But that would be the bullish case scenario. We get a very, very strong leg up here to $100,000 range, right? 99K, 100K. And it just looks incredibly powerful. Could still be an ABC move eventually, but you know, that would be the bullish case. You form a massive third wave, a fourth wave, fifth wave, you're taking out the high, already creating a 5-wave structure here on the 1 hourly time frame, looking like a very strong impulse. The bearish case scenario is that you formed this impulse, not finishing an ABC move, not finishing or a WXY, because there is a bit of a complex waves here throughout the B wave, right? Or the throughout the X wave. This is finished. Bullish case, we absolutely rock it in 5 waves here to the upside. That will be looking very good. We'll look for a retracement and off we go to all-time high in the coming weeks. Bearish case scenario, we form a 3-wave corrective structure. This movement has very poor price action, no volume, very choppy. We roll back down to claim the lows in a third wave. That is the moment that the bears are going to say, it's happening, it's bearish, I told you so. We were going to break down beneath $90,000 successfully. It could be the case, guys. We'll be analyzing very, very carefully that momentum to the upside here. This movement is going to give us all of the information to see the highest probability scenario, which is either continuation to break above, successfully above $102,000, or roll back down with a lower high and break down here the $90,000. It will all be said in this story. The charts are going to give us a story here in the coming days, whether it's strong with the waves, or is it going to be weak and we're going to get choppiness and a lot of resistance in this zone, which we'll analyze here as well on the stream. What major levels do we have here as confluence at 98, 99, 97? Is there any big confluence here as resistance? That's what we need to check on the chart. Do we have daily, weeklies? No daily, no weekly in that zone. Previous week, previous month levels. We do have the previous month open sitting at 96.5. We do have the previous week close at 98.3. That's going to be interesting. Those are going to be a little bit of interesting levels that could get some reactions. We need to analyze very carefully the extension as well, right? Looking at the lower time frame, because right now, if this were to be the higher low and we break the highs, we do have a higher low. If we break the highs right now, we do have a higher low right there to analyze the projection of the next move. What tool are we using? We're using the Fibonacci extension tool. That is if we were to break out from today's highs at 95.2. If this were to be the low and we break from the highs, we got a possible extension. So we need to speculate on, hey, if we break out from the highs, how far can we go and where could we reject? Well, eventually you have the ultimate, big projection, which is the 1.618, right? That is if we suddenly are extremely bullish and we pump $4,000. Don't think it will be the case, right? There's more bearishness, right, than bullishness. That would be very, very bullish. You got the one-to-one extension, very classic one-to-one extension wave, which is hitting the previous month open, the open from December. That one-to-one extension, that is if this were to be the higher low, is a very interesting area. Matter of fact, it is in confluence with the first lower highs First lower high zone. I like it. I like this area. This is a classic rejection level. You get the breakdown, you get a bounce, choppiness, and you continue that downtrend, very choppy downtrend. That's the first lower high zone consolidation area after this epic collapse. It's a classic zone where the price likes to claim liquidity. We do have that liquidity here. We do have it. Yeah, around about 96, even to $97,000 is, you know, quite a lot of short liquidations. So if we were to go to that zone, it could be a pretty powerful spike up and then a quick rejection. One-to-one extension. And this is out of speculation. When we analyze the chart, we just have so many different scenarios. We need to, you know, speculate on, could this happen? Could that happen? Where is the interest trading zones, right? Because we could have several plans and a lot of the plans, you know, fail, right? You have invalidations, right? Of course, if we break down from here, then I won't be looking at that scenario. This is if this is the low, right? We're coming down here very aggressively. Let's just zoom in here on the chart, on the lower time frames, because we are moving down pretty nicely now. But anyway, that one-to-one, just giving the explanation here. We're going to take a look at CVD right now. That zone of one-to-one, if this were to be the low, is very interesting. Previous month open, sweep of these lower highs, one-to-one, 105 for a 3-waver and a pretty decent pullback where you would want to be taking profit at your local level of support. Let's analyze here a little bit the price action moving down pretty aggressively here on the lower time frame. Previous week open, let's take a look at CVD. CVD not forming bullish CVD divergence. We are not forming any bullish ones at the moment. That is a pity. Not enough selling pressure here. Not enough shorts to have bullish CVD divergence. We're still forming higher lows here, unfortunately, on the price action and the CVD. Previous week open and previous month close is here. We're in the level. We're in the zone. We're in the zone. We're in the zone. It's a pity that we don't have any bullish CVDs. We are getting some shorts entering here. It's probably going to hold this area. The bearish case looks unlikely. The bearish case looks unlikely just because of this major bounce. The probabilities of a higher low in this zone is very high. Let's go through the comment section right away. Would be nice. Previous week open is what is literally holding there as support, and this kind of order block right there. When we go to the 5-minute time frame, you got a bit of an order block right over here. Order block area is kind of wanting to hold. Volume is not too crazy to the downside. But the fact that we've retraced so much here gives low probability that we are going to successfully break down here. It would be absolutely epic for a confirmation that we do get the bullish CVDs, right? Bullish CVDs give you a lot of confidence, which is actually seeing a lot of shorts entering here and giving you the possibility of claiming the highs, right? So we're not getting enough shorts entering the market here to trap them, unfortunately. But overall, that is a possibility. Previous month close, previous week open. Let's go through the comment section. Let's set some alerts. and go through comment section. We might get a bit of more wiki movement down to 7-8 Fibonacci, maybe, possibly. I'm already in a long position from lower. Let's set some alerts here. Let's go through the comment section right away. I do have some news that I want to talk about as well, legends. We do have some news. We do have some other charts. I want to take a look at some altcoins, one of your favorite altcoins. Remember, guys, if you are interested in trading, if you're learning, managing risk, responsible, Weeks has to be the best alternative that I have found from Bybit, okay? Bybit, without a doubt, my favorite for years. But Weeks is a great alternative. You got the biggest bonus down below in the description, guys. You get a fee discount. You get a deposit bonus. Check out the links down below, guys, for Weeks. Weeks or Bluffin, they're both as good. Testing out Weeks here for the last few weeks, which is absolutely awesome. Highly liquid. You got the great bonus, guys, with the link down below, okay? No, you just need an email and a password. Very important. Just an email and a password. You set your Google Authenticator, whatever, right, for security, and that is it. So you get on trading in a matter of minutes, guys. Let's go. Andy, Bitcoin is holding the 15-minute RSI uptrend, bouncing off the trend. Wow, 15-minute RSI. So I assume that the RSI was a little bit oversold. I don't know. I don't use RSI for my trading setups, but overall, let's take a look at 𝗬𝗏𝗏. Beautiful TA, says Rubin. Hey, thank you very much, my man. Thank you very much. Much love to you. Yeah, well, I try, you know, locally, lower time frame, like scalping, day trading scenarios and managing risk is without a doubt, you know, what I like to do. I really focus level to level and focus on what is happening now, right? So for me to give you a higher time frame perspective on what's happened the last few weeks, you know, I could say, yeah, maybe this has been the end of the C wave, or maybe we're going to go to, you know, 87, 85K in the next couple of weeks, coming days. But it is crucial to understand what is happening locally, right? The local price action, right? Higher time frame, we know what's happening, right? Yeah, okay, we either do this is the bottom, or we come down and go to slightly lower levels. But what happens locally is what is going to give us the information of what is highly likely to happen. And inside of the local price action is where we could find some day trade scalping opportunities, right? Just as mentioned at the beginning of the stream, giving you the explanation of the break of structure, that we're unlikely to break down successfully today or tomorrow from the lows, especially entering into the weekend, and that we have a high probability that we are going to still be ranging and corrective in this zone. So inside of this range, realizing that this impulsive move down has finished for the moment, thanks to the breakout of the structure, will give us some major levels and different trading opportunities, right? So overall, the 1.618 extension, the 1-to-1 extension and the 1.618 extension is without a doubt very interesting from that low. Hitting the 1-to-1, as mentioned before, on a higher time frame, this is something that we could be ready for later on today or tomorrow. Managing risk, of course, like a beast. Preferably, we do take out that lower high right over here. That would be ideal, right? That's a classic zone where you would want the price action to hit and get the rejection as you're hitting the 1-to-1 extension here on this movement. So, yeah, that is getting above the previous month open, but you could have that kind of fake out volatile move up and then get the pullback. You know, I would be targeting VWAP, the local levels of support. So if you do consolidate here and then get the breakout, then I would be targeting that consolidation order block as a take profit. I mean, it's only a scalp. We're looking for moves of $1,000 potentially, right? Not, you know, a 3-to-1 risk to reward, 2.5-to-1 risk to reward. Like they're quite tight. But overall, that, this is a beautiful rejection point with no doubt. The one-to-one extension, if this were to be the low. And preferably you sweep up that high, because as you reject from that high, that's going to give you your entry point and stop loss on the rejection. You're entering on the rejection, not on the pump, right? If you break out and you enter on the breakout, then where you're putting your stop loss. That is the situation here, right? You need the rejection so you can put your stop above the rejection high. So that is a very interesting level, without a doubt. And if we do break down without taking out this high, okay, so we come down to the lows of late last night, I would really consider a possible ABC flat right over here, just because I do see this as the end of an impulse. I do see this as an end of an impulse, and that we are in a correction here throughout the next coming days. So pay attention to the $91,200, which is the low from late last night, because this could be a level where you just claim liquidity and you get the bounce. There is a lot of liquidity still down there. So, I mean, it would make sense to sweep that liquidity and then head for the liquidity to the upside, or come to the upside and then maybe go down if it does so, right? So, it's a very, very interesting scenario. And this has to do with, it's very likely that this, we can't say it's certain, guys, okay? We never can say that. Whoever says that I'm 100% positive on something, this is just probabilities. Based on the impulsive move down on the structure, that if you do come down to the lows here, that there is a high chance in swing failure pattern. But you need to swing failure pattern. You need to get the recovery to get into the trading setup, because you cannot just randomly long here on the falling knife unless you have a major level that you're watching, like the previous month low maybe, right? Or I don't know. If you have your confluence level, then yeah, eventually you can catch a falling knife. But if I get into this long position, you will see me in the long position here, somewhere in this zone. You ain't going to see me in the long down here catching the falling knife beneath the low if I don't have any confluence levels. You just won't see that. If I catch a falling knife, it's based on a SFP level, or it's based on the previous week low. In this case was a great reaction right there. I didn't long that. But that would have been a possible, okay, we reacted from previous week low. Then I'm not sure if you guys can see this. I'm probably in the way. Yeah. We reacted from previous week low, and I'm jumping in at the highs, as we recover, and I'm putting stop loss beneath the low. But never catch a falling knife randomly or add to position believing that you're gonna catch it. You're gonna catch the low. You need a level. You need a confluence level, such as a daily level, a previous week low, a naked point of control. If you tap it and you get above it, you got a stop loss, and stop loss is your friend. Stop loss is what's going to defend, right, your capital, which is most important in trading. I got a message from someone. A DM. I do get DMs sometimes of people either on Telegram or Instagram or wherever, guys. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I only opened this a few weeks ago. I'm going to start being a little bit more active. Some shorts. I'll be posting a bit of my, personal life. I'll be more active. I'm not too active at the moment, but you got the link on Instagram, guys. If you want to, I'm living in Dubai. I'll be posting a little bit of, what I do sometimes in the week. So you got the Instagram down below, guys. I only opened this one a few weeks ago. Yeah, I basically got a message from somebody. I'm not going to say any names, of course, here, that, lost $15,000 throughout this latest crash. Just asking me a few things and rest of it. And, for me, the basic question is, where did you enter? where was your stop loss? What's your analysis? What were you believing that was going to happen if you didn't have any invalidation? And obviously he risked a little bit more than he was willing to lose, right? That's when I get the DMs of people saying, I've lost this amount of money. I thought we were, altcoins were going to absolutely explode throughout the last few weeks. And we need to manage risk, guys. It's a ferocious market. And if we, this is why I look for day trades. Invalidation, stop losses are important. They are important because you're just going to take a little scratch. You're going to take a little hit, and then you move to the next trade setup either later on today or tomorrow. So please manage risk, guys. This is a very dangerous market. If you are greedy and you're putting more than you're willing to lose because you think that you're going to make a lot of money in the coming weeks, be very defensive. It's a game that you need to learn how to be very defensive, not learn how to make money. Everybody can get into a massive long or a massive short. Learn your risk management, learn your invalidation levels, learn to be very defensive when you're trading, okay? Because I do get DMs once in a while, either on Telegram or on Instagram, of people or Discord, people that have taken it too far, okay? People that have taken it too far and they haven't got invalidation and tight stop losses, right? And eventually they do get burnt. So just a little tip, this is a marathon. You need to make small consistent profits throughout the years. Go to the advice, says the 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫. Absolutely, my man. Be defensive. Learn how to be defensive. Money will come later once you make good trades. You're going to get stopped out. Every month you're going to get stopped out several times. But the most important thing is that keep those stop losses tight. Keep them tight, baby. You don't, not extremely tight, but at invalidation levels, right? Don't enter and put stop loss at break even straight away. Do you short long on market or limit orders? It is mainly market orders, I have to say. Mainly market orders. Yes, you can do with limit orders, but you're going to feel sometimes that with limit orders, you are going to be chasing the price, right? I mean, I don't go to bed and put limit orders I used to do this over 5 years ago, but you can catch a few good trades, but when the price does really go against you, then you are going to get burnt, right? Just a clear example here. Anybody that was bullish, I actually got into a long position here, provided, also in the Legends community, I was interested in a local double bottom, which we did, but I got stopped out. This was my stop loss right there beneath this low. So I did attempt a long here in this consolidation, speculating on a wave 4 to get another leg up and possibly claim the highs. But stop loss was tight. And that is the difference. I did lose money here, but it was, for me, peanuts. It was a very small amount. If it would have played out right, then yeah, you're making a 6-7 times risk to reward. Then it's okay money. But the people that put limit orders, right, depending on what strategy, you might find a good support here. And I know a lot of people will just put a bunch of limit orders. This is a classic noob and style of trading. I'm just going to put a bunch of limit orders. I will get them filled, and then we'll reverse tomorrow, right? If you would have used that kind of add to the position strategy or whatever here, which is not a strategy, it's basically a full recipe to get burnt, right? If you add to positions, you can go underwater very quickly and get liquidated and lose a lot of money, guys. Never trade like this. Never trade like this, because there will be one day that the market will catch you, right? It catched me in the past doing this kind of silly nonsense, right? It's the first year of getting into trading that you do these kind of mistakes. And regarding your question, though, on a limit order, if I do get into a lot of double bottoms and triple tops and triple bottoms, swing failure pattern situations, and I like to try and get the best entry possible, right? And best entry possible. Sometimes you'll have a few minutes and you can get a limit order and drag it here as you get the swing failure pattern. But what you're going to find yourself many times is you create that liquidity grab, and then the price kind of V-shapes, right? It V-shapes. So the best situation is pay a bit more fees and enter in market, because you're just going to get a better entry. And, you know, mainly 90, you know, you're going to feel yourself sometimes that unless you put a limit order and you go to bed and you wake up, right? Or whatever, you come back to the charts later, oh, I got filled. I trade based on the reactions of proof of resistance, proof of support at certain levels, you know, double bottoms, reactions at levels, right? And then enter on the rejection. I don't like to put a limit order because we could break out, right? If I put a limit order at a resistance or at a support, I do not know if it's going to hold. I need to see the fake out, right? I'm basically a fake out trader, right? Where you get the fake out and then I enter into the reversal. So limit orders for me it does not work, because it can work a lot of the times. You might get your order triggered and you might get a few minutes there on a retracement and you might get triggered on that reaction. But it has happened to me throughout the last couple of years, right? Where you kind of chase the price action with your limit order, right? And it's like, why didn't I just market order down there? So anyway, that's the main reason, right? Because the main reason I market order is because there will be some trades that you'll end up kind of trying to chase the price action, because I enter into the reversal. I don't enter onto the falling knife. I don't get in the trade as the price is coming down to me. I enter the trade on the bounce. So as I am trading the bounce, you're kind of chasing the price action with your limit order. So you just market order, right? That's it. You get the reaction, you're bouncing, you're entering the bounce. So the limit order is getting into against the price action, right? So if you put a limit order, you are hoping that this support is going to hold. But what if it doesn't hold? You get filled and then price goes against you, and then, yeah, well, the support did not react, right? You did not bounce from the support. So that's the main reason why I enter market order 95% of the times, right? I would even happy to say, you know, 100%, but it's not 100%. Sometimes I would get into a limit order if I can. Let's go right away through the comment section, guys. You know, a little bit of the scenarios here on Bitcoin. It has been mentioned. You know, if we do come down to the lows, it will be very interesting. I don't think that we're going to break down from this low here. At least not now. But it will be very interesting to see if we do break down that it's going to be very difficult to find a higher low here. It's going to be very difficult. The price action, you know, if we are speculating in a B wave or a 2 wave, right? This could either be a A, B, C. And the B wave can be very difficult. It could claim the start of A wave. That would be golden, because you know that if you do bounce and you fail to break down from this low, this is the area you want to long. You want to long the bounce, the possible bounce in the coming days. You don't want to long down here on the breakdown, unless you basically got a confluence level that you're waiting for a reaction, then you can catch it. But the point here is the B wave is going to be a little bit complex. Depending on what kind of price action you form, right? Because it could break down very impulsively. That's if you break down, then, you know, it can get very ferocious and you're coming down here to the lows. But it could form a higher low somewhere in this zone as well, at the 7.8 Fibonacci, at the 0.88. Or you could form a second wave, right? Where this is a 1 wave, and you're going to form a 2 wave at some point here, and then get to the 3 wave, right? And start moving up very aggressively. I don't think we're moving up in an impulse, but it could be the case, right? Depending on that 3rd wave, how explosive it is, we can, you know, basically speculate that we are moving up in a strong impulse. So the B waves are going to, you know, they're very, very complex. Very, very complex, because you have many Fibonacci targets on a B wave, which is the 382 to the lows, basically, right? To dip beneath the low. 1, 2, 3, 6, 1, 1, 3, 8, 2 Fibonacci, right? Extension from this wave. This is your zone for a B wave. So it's not going to be easy. The ideal scenario would be coming down to 91,300 and getting the reaction, right? The ideal scenario for a great long would be you get this reaction. I would want to long here and target the highs as a take profit, realizing that there's extreme high probability for this to be the end of the correction, and that we're going to break down successfully here has very low probability. Of course it could happen, but it's just low probability that this could happen. So I want to be ready with some alerts to see that reaction from the low, because that is the moment that I would attempt a long position and put stop loss beneath the low created and speculate on that ABC, realizing that this has been the end of the impulsive move based on the wave counts, especially this last wave, and based on the breakout of the structure. So you got a breakout of structure with this high created today. So yeah, I would say that this could be a very high probability trade. This would be a higher time frame double bottom scenario, which could end up in an ABC. Of course, if this were to happen, we claim the lows and then we look to claim the highs. This moment will be a moment to look for shorts, because I would have to say there's high probability that we're forming a flat here, legends, and we're gonna roll back down later on, depending on how we move up here. So, you know, if we do claim the lows, I do see a flat, and I would be interested in longing and interested in shorting later on. So we are moving down very aggressively right now. Let's zoom in on the price action. Let's take a look at the CVD. No bullish CVDs. No bullish CVDs, unfortunately. Yeah, no bullish CVD divergence. Previous month close, getting a bit of reaction. If we do get a bit of choppiness here, there could be a case that we are going to get that bounce. Yeah, golden pocket 7-8. 7-8 could be the scenario. You know, basically pretty nice volume on this pump. Yeah, still very much a possible trade. Let's go through the comment section and let's see if you do have some altcoins, legends. We are going to go through some news as well. Let's see if this range does hold. We got the alert there, right there on the chart. Previous month close. If we break down, we break down. We'll analyze this in the next coming minutes. Let's go right away through comment section. We got a super chat, Fowler Network and Tia. Let's go right away through Fowler Network. Rune, I don't know what's happened to Rune, but my goodness, Rune is in a very interesting area. If we start consolidating here throughout the next coming days, it's going to be looking very interesting for Rune, because if not, you know, I'm really speculating that this could have been the higher low. But wow, this retracement has come down to exactly the 7-8, which is just holding by a thread, you know, even hitting the 0.88, which is not looking too great. If you hit the 0.88, it means that you could be very likely taking out this low. So I would be waiting patiently for Rune to see a little bit of the selling pressure exhaustion here. Get a bounce, get a rejection, get a bounce, double bottom. If we do form that kind of wedgie structure here in this zone, then I would say, okay, this looks pretty damn good. If we V-shape, then so be it. If we break down, so be it. But if we range here in this area, it's going to be looking very interesting. Very, very interesting. That broadening wedge here to the upside, getting this breakdown. I don't know what happened to Rune. Rune dropped very aggressively throughout. Maybe some news coming out, but throughout the last 2 days, we got a pretty nasty move down of 36%. just in about 2 days. Damn. I know Devil holds some rune from lower levels, but yeah, BTC hitting that zone. Previous month close. This needs to hold this range. Yeah, it's not holding. We are not forming any bullish CVD divergence, which is a shame. Would have been ideal to form some bullish CVDs, get some lower lows right there, getting lots of people shorting. Matter of fact, we might see some people long in here. Yeah, people have been long. We have been forming some bearish CVDs here, which is eventually not helping this situation. Claim the low, breaking down right now. So there were actually people longing throughout this move, forming these bearish CVDs, claim the lows now in the last few minutes. Hit the 0.88 Fibonacci, almost hitting the 0.88. Not quite hit it yet. It did not quite hit the 0.88. If you hit 0.88, then it gives you a high chance that this could be taking out this low in the end. Let's go right away through the comment section. We're going to take a look at some altcoins. Looks like it wants to break down. If we get the choppiness here and recovery, we did lose the VWAP. Invalidation is still the lows. Let's see how it performs. Let's take a look at 𝗬𝗨 Network, because I do still hold a bag of 𝗬𝗨 Network. 𝗬𝗨 Network got an epic pullback. But it's holding pretty strong, I have to say. 𝗬𝗨 Network, guys, is an insane project. We bought 𝗬𝗨 Network on spot throughout. I have to say, I made about $50,000 on this spot bag because I bought $25,000 down here at the 11-cent zone, 10, 11-cent zone. This was absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, nice 5x in a matter of a few days. I mean, this was relatively quick. This has to be one of the most insane projects that there is in crypto. You know, no doubt about it. 𝗬𝗨 Network, guys. This one does all sorts. When you do take a look at 𝗬𝗨 Network and you see what category 𝗬𝗨 Network is in, and it's, you know, pretty solid project as well. I've done a bit of research, and also part of the team have done research. This is an insane look. It's in 11 categories, right? Usually you have smart contracts, Oracle, meme, AI, real world assets. This one has 11 categories, which is infrastructure, smart contract, Oracle, interoperability, layer 2, Oracle and layer 2 at the same time, AI agents, which is, you know, the main hype here the last couple of months, deepen, roll up. This is like doing everything, right? So, I mean, this is one that we really catched at low levels, and I went, you know, I basically put 25K on this one when we were trading here at the, you know, 10-cent zone. Basically, we were months talking about this one, that we were at rock bottom levels, and it was a very solid project. Regarding 𝗬𝗨 Network, we're just below the highs here, so it's just a major big pump, and you expect this pullback. You know, I would want this one to see the selling pressure get exhaustion and speculate on a reversal. It's a little bit too soon right now. But overall, you know, if you are a legit follower of the channel from the last few months, you're probably holding some 𝗬𝗨 Network as well from this area that we were talking about. And I'm holding 50% of what I bought here. I sold 50% on this rocket right there. I was like, yeah, that was the target zone. So I took profits here on my spot bag, and holding 50% of it from this buying zone at 10, 11 cent area. This one is, I think this one's going to surprise us. This is a very, very solid project that is in all sorts, right? In the categories, you're going to see mainly on any crypto project, you're going to see projects in L1s, L2s, oracles, interoperability, smart contract, oracle, deepen, right? Real world asset. And this one covers so many different niches that eventually got a pretty explosive breakout here last month, right? In December. There's not much TA. There's, not much TA. It does look pretty good on the 4 hourly, 1 hourly. It looks like the selling pressure is getting a little exhausted, but we need to focus a little bit on Bitcoin. Once Bitcoin has a clear pattern that we are possibly bottoming out, breaking down right now, Bitcoin is breaking down. So, I mean, the next plan for me would be coming down to, yeah, preferably I would want to see those lows being taken. But if we do, yeah, it's not going to be an easy one here for a higher low. For me, there's very, very difficult to enter a long on this falling knife without a doubt. Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. There is a possibility here of a higher low, and there's a possibility of a, take out the low, but I would prefer taking out the low without a doubt. It's not going to be an easy trade, because you could break down. There's a risk management situation here if you want to attempt a long position. I could not long where we at right now, because I don't know where to put stop loss. But if you don't want to put stop loss, right, as Jason Casper says, there's no stop loss. I can't long here right there, and I can't short eventually because we're breaking down already. So I don't want to short here. This would not be a trading plan that I would have. I would like to see the sweep of this low. It's going to be very, very difficult. I mean, zooming out on the CVD, we were forming local bearish CVD divergence here, so that was obviously playing not the advantage, right? You got higher highs right there. You got a bunch of longs on Bybit entering here, you faggots, creating that liquidity grab right now on the lows. But we're kind of still forming bullish CVDs from this pivot low. So the fact that there's lots of shorts entering the market right now, you could form that swing failure pattern from these lows. So let's see how aggressive we move down to that level, because there's lots of shorts entering the market right now. Lots of shorts entering, 31 million on Bybit on this candlestick, on this 30-minute candlestick. Lower lows, lots of shorts entering here. Lots of shorts interested and pushing the price down at the moment, which is just feeding big liquidity to the upside. Let's refresh this. Lots of liquidity here at $95,000, $96,000. Lots, over almost $2 billion in short liquidation. So could we sweep that liquidity here beneath those lows and then get a massive reversal? Yeah, based on the TA, it's definitely an option. So this would be the interesting zone right there. How many people lost their 12-word phrase in the fires? My goodness. BTC is not looking good. Alan, yeah, it's not looking good at the moment. Right? It's not looking good on this movement down. Let's go. Crazy Jason says Spaceland. He's absolutely epic. There was demo. I regret selling 2 BTC at 7K, though it was demo. Yeah, guys, any people that are new to trading, eventually you want to start off with demo, look at different strategies, learn to manage risk very well, guys. Stop loss is part of the game, okay? Stop loss is part of the game. What is dangerous for people that are new is adding to position and getting into a big trade. I only got a message here throughout the last 24 hours from somebody losing $15,000 in a matter of a week, and basically not managing risk, okay? Not managing risk. But if you do know how to manage risk, without a doubt, you know, trading game can be for you. Let's go through comment section, guys. Remember, BTC dominance is going to be good. Stock market is taking a hit. This is also what is dragging the price of Bitcoin. Stock market is, I want to take a look at Bitcoin dominance. Somebody is asking about the Bitcoin dominance. Stock market hitting the lows. We got sell-off Friday, guys. Friday is well known for a sell-off. So we're getting the sell-off Friday. We're currently at these lows. Will we break down successfully from these lows? It looks like we are having an attempt right now, so we could get a more volatile move down, but it could end up recovering, right? This level has bounced several times on the stock market. Will we get the bounce right now? It is forming a bit of a descending selling pressure triangle scenario. There is a possibility. Let's see if it does break down here. If it breaks down, it is dragging the price of Bitcoin also to the downside, as we can see. Legends, if you are interested in trading, we're going to take a look at some altcoins right now. We do have Weeks. Weeks is an awesome platform, okay? You only need an email and a password to trade on Weeks, guys. Check it out. You got the biggest bonus available. You get this bonus airdropped, okay? The more you trade to increase your capital, which is epic. Check out the link of Weeks down below, guys. You have it right over here. Let's go through some altcoins. 𝗬𝗨 network. We need to hold. Some altcoins are doing pretty good. They're just holding a pullback. They're not getting the volatility from Bitcoin. 𝗬𝗨 network, I think, is a coin that could go to a couple of dollars in this bull run. And especially holding, guys, if you did buy in this area, this bottom formation from the last few months, holding that bag, guys, holding this bag. I've got about 100,000 𝗬𝗨 network tokens. And 120 odd thousand. We'll be willing to hold on to see if we do get to a couple of dollars in this bull run. Worst case scenario is bear market, we come down to entry zone, right? I don't think we're going to see a successful breakdown from this base on 𝗬𝗨 network, right? Which is basically peanuts. I don't think that will be the case. Worst case scenario is we come back down to entry zone to the base. Let's take a look at some altcoins. Can we get 500 likes? Let's see if we can get 500 likes. Let me just refresh the live stream because let's take a look at some altcoins. Oh, let's get to 500 likes and we are going to go back and take a look at your favorite altcoins. We can take a look at some news as well, guys, as we do get to 500 likes, and then we take a look at your favorite altcoins, okay? We're going to take a look at your favorite altcoins right away. I'll be back as soon as we get to above 500 likes. Yes, we are back. We are back. Why are we back? Because we got 500 likes. Bitcoin getting a small little bounce right now. Small little bounce. Looking at this movement. Golden pocket crossed. 7-8 almost touched. A bit of choppiness here. It's going to be interesting if we do create that choppiness in this range where we just choppy. It could find a base here, but we need the volatility to slow down a little bit. Slow down Bitcoin here. Slow down, get some choppiness. This could be a reversal zone, but we needed that choppiness, right? We need the selling pressure to finish. A little bit of sideways momentum. Let's take a look at your favorite altcoins, guys. Make sure to drop them off here in the comment section. I'll give you my point of view on some altcoins. I do have some altcoins in the red. Illuvium is one of them, guys. Illuvium is one of them because Illuvium basically came down to entry zone. We're talking about spot bags right now. Slightly in the red. My average entry zone on Illuvium spot bags is $40. We are forming a bit of a base here, which is nice. Back in the consolidation zone. I think we're going to be good. We're going to be good here. A bit of volatility here is not going to hurt anybody, right? And look for the reversal in the next coming weeks at some point, right? So it's incredible how some you know, it's so important that we do get into some different niches, right? Fowler Network has been a good performing altcoin that I bought the last few months. I'm not sure what PRQ is doing, but PRQ managed to lock some pretty nice gains at the March highs. PRQ is doing pretty okay as well. Still at the March highs. This one was bought in this ascending triangle zone. But it's important to get into the niches, right? AI, right? AI. Now, agent AI, right? AI agents is the new thing for the last few months. So lots of them are doing a 10x, a 15x, right? In just a matter of a few weeks. So it is important to get into those niches, of course, as well, because old school cryptos, I'm an old school guy. My biggest bag is Chainlink, as most of you know. This is boring, guys. I mean, I'm in profits at the moment, but it's boring. You know, this ain't going to do a 20x anytime soon. It's got a long-term investment that is very boring. Yeah, it's going to do a 3x, a 4x. I'm happy with, if you do a 3 or 4x, if you're holding hundreds of thousands of dollars and you make a 3, 4x, you're going to be very happy, right? But if you want those quick gains, you need to get into the niches, guys. And for the moment, AI agents is like the bomb diggity, right? Bomb diggity AI agent is what you want to get into, right? If you see some AI agent coins, some of them in a matter of weeks have done crazy things, crazy things. Max, for example, which is down ever so slightly, this one's up 500% in a matter of a week. You need to get the right one eventually. There's only a bunch of them that do that 20, 30x. But this one has gone absolutely bananas, done a 10x in a matter of less than 2 weeks. So, you could go down the rabbit hole and look at the low caps, ones that have launched not long ago. But this hype will finish, yeah? This hype will finish. We did have the hype in Q1 of AI. We got a big pullback, right? Do not buy the tops, guys. Do not buy the ones that are pumped already. They could continue pumping, but they're the ones that you're going to hold on tight in a pullback, right? For months, if not years. Stay cautious, guys. Buy the ones that look like they're bottoming out, not the ones that are pumping already, right? 1,000%. CGBT is on. Let's take a look at Agent Tank is an amazing AI agent narrative coin. Let's take a look at that, guys. I'm happy to take a look at these new niches, and especially looking at the ones that haven't pumped, because we have detected some cryptos throughout the last few months that were bottoming out thanks to the community in the comment section. We just check them. If it's a niche, then absolutely we are looking at it. And if it hasn't pumped yet, we would be very interested. So let's take a look at this one, Tank. Oh, this one that doesn't have a great name. Agent Tank, because tank is when the price tanks, right? We don't like that name. But this one, yeah, it just launched a few weeks ago. Got a pump, got a pullback. 15 million market cap, still low. I like to search some of these ones that haven't pumped yet. Not much going on this one lately, so not available on any major exchanges, so we can't chart them. Yeah, a lot of these ones that are new, you want to really go to Dex Tools, right? You want to go to Dex Tools or to Dex Screen and basically buy them on Radium, right? Lots of them are in the Solana blockchain. Some of the 100,000, 200,000 market cap. I mean, I'm not interested in getting in them, because if I $10,000, you need to buy very slowly. Buy $100, $50, $100, so you don't pump the price. If you put $10,000 in a 100,000 market cap, you're going to pump the price 10%, right? So you don't want to do that, because you'll get dumped on for sure. I went all in on Castor this morning, says Bernie, absolute legend. Did you hit your stop loss? This did hit stop loss from a scenario that we talked about. Yeah, from a trading setup. Yeah, I was looking at this zone to hold, but it did not hold. I'm in a long position from lower and a short from this point, which I would have gone in. We had some news coming out, but it was not is a dangerous short. I would have preferred shorting from ever so slightly higher levels, to be honest, because we had better levels to the upside. There was better levels to the upside here. These lower highs right there, 1.618 extension here from this move, from this movement up to the movement down. The sweep of these highs would have been a level that I would have gone a little bit heavier. But we were getting a lot of resistance here just before the news at the previous week equilibrium. And yeah, basically very choppy here. And it was also a point of control from a range. Well, not a point of control, but a high volume node from this area. You've got a high volume node. You're getting resistance right there. High volume node in this zone. Getting the resistance at the previous week equilibrium. But yeah, still leaning on the side that Bitcoin's not going to break down successfully here from the lows. If we do test them, I would be interested in a long position. So yeah, this is the zone that I would be interested in a long if we fail to break out. Because I would be looking for the highs to be hit again in the next coming days. So I would be interested in that long position on Bitcoin. This would be the next interesting zone. If it holds, I'm longing later on the recovery. And for shorts, previous month open looks interesting, ever so slightly above previous month open. Especially now, depending if we do form a higher low. If we do break out from here, right, we do hold this low and we move up. It's going to be a very three-wave structure depending on the power here. Analyzing this lower high in this zone. This is a big rejection point, $97,000. And looking at the one-to-one extension, well, that is if we form a higher low, right? One-to-one, 1236. This would be kind of the area. The one-to-one extension is with the previous month open right now. So this is a rejection point. It could get volatile, sweep up this lower high. Most interesting level to then get a pullback. So yeah, these levels look very, very interesting on the chart. Preferably the low, because then you got a pretty nice day trade swing long position. If we do hold this low, I would be really speculating on these highs to be hit. So that would be a very, very nice swing trade. Just for a few days, or maybe for a day. Long retest this low. Yeah, retest this low. Well, there is a chance as well. Like I said, there is a possibility of forming a higher low right now based on an ABC or a 1, 2, 3. I mean, it is, but it's very difficult, right? It's very difficult to manage risk here with stop losses, because there is a chance that you could take out that low based on the ABC flat. Anyway, let's go. BTC, check out Trempcoin and what you think. 𝗬𝗿𝘆𝗽. Yeah, so many different. I'm going to check these different ones, guys. Do a little bit of research. If I do find something interesting. Andy is pumping. Let's go right away with this one here. Somebody was saying 𝗬𝗿𝘆𝗽. So many different ones are launching right now. 𝗬𝗿𝘆𝗽. It's probably not on CoinGecko. This is probably on Deck Screen. What other ones we do have here? 𝗖𝗿𝗆 buying opportunity. Yeah, without a doubt. I did scoop up some 𝗖𝗍 at this zone, and I would be interested in buying at the 30-cent level if we do get down there as well. Yeah, I like this zone for 𝗖𝗍. Regardless, if we do go to lower levels, it's just a hold on, guys. It's going to bottom out at some stage, but we don't want to buy up here. We don't want to buy here. We want to buy these pullbacks, and this, without a doubt, is a good zone for, you know, either accumulating or getting into a very, very low swing long position. And when we talk about low leverage, it's a 2, 3x, right? Because, you know, we could go to lower levels, right? Without a doubt, especially taking into consideration Bitcoin on the higher time frame. We do know the risk of Bitcoin potentially breaking down. And if Bitcoin breaks down from this head and shoulder, right, like most will speculate on, that the altcoins will get a massive hit here. You know, altcoins will drop 10, 15, 20, even 30% if Bitcoin gets down to the low 80K zone, right? Or 85K. If Bitcoin drops down from this zone with an aggressive move, oh my goodness, guys, altcoins are we're gonna, you know, for all of those people that are holding on spot or a very low leverage position, you know, you're gonna have to, you know, people will be adding to that long, but managed risk, guys, you can only risk peanuts on a swing long, because if it's a swing long for the next coming months, you're making over a 20x, right? Or 30x if you're using a bit of leverage. So you don't need to go too crazy here. Don't try and make the, you know, go heavy, because shit could hit the fan. Let's leave it that way. This could be a larger ABC move in the next couple of weeks. We could get a pretty messy breakdown, and your altcoins are going to take a hit, guys. So on spot bag, you just hold on, right? Hold on to the damage. There's nothing else. Short-term damage, unrealized. 80K is strong. 80K, 85K is an epic level. 85K is actually the where you have the inefficiency, right? Where you have that big candlestick, right? That's where it ends. So this is one of my favorite levels where the price usually gets a bounce, where you have a massive run up here with a God candlestick, and then you have the first higher low and the uptrend momentum. This is an epic level. 85K is extremely strong. It's a very strong reaction level without a doubt. The bounce here highly likely is going to be several $1,000s. This is a level to bounce several $1,000s. They usually hold before filling up the, you know, inefficiency here from the candlestick of this moon. They usually hold. Bulls will defend this level, that is for sure. Will it end up breaking down later? I don't think so, but you never know. But it usually is a short-term level that it holds on pretty strongly. So if it does come down there, it could hold pretty strong. Brother, can you check out Rune? We, you know, checked out Rune, and Rune, I don't know what happened to Rune. There may be some bad news, but Rune is down over 30%. But regarding accumulation levels, I think Rune is in an epic zone. Epic zone. I'm still leaning on the side that this is a first initial wave one. You know, it's a perfect count with a nice strong impulsive move up. So the probabilities in taking out this high in the next coming months, give or take maybe weeks, is very, very likely. Very likely. This is a very strong impulsive move in a one wave. So either it's an ABC and then we come down, or it's a 1, 2, 3, continue the uptrend. However, if we take out this low, it won't be game over. We'll have to come to the conclusion that this has been the correction, and you're possibly forming a more complex WXY kind of structure, or maybe a triangle, right? Maybe you are forming a triangle here for the next coming weeks, and then you're going to break up. But overall, these lows, yeah, in this area, this is a great accumulation zone on Rune. Because this does look very impulsive, and it's just one wave. So the fact that this is just one strong impulsive move up, you still need one wave to take out these highs at some point in the coming months. So, you know, whether that is going to be a powerful third wave or an ABC and bear market again, you are looking to take out these highs at some point in the coming months. So regardless of any choppiness here, you could be forming a complex triangle. For the moment, we were leaning on the side that this is wave 2. This is wave 1. But if you take out the lows, I'm still interested, guys, in buying zone here on Rune. And it's, you know, a possible easy 3-4x in the coming months if you're in this buying zone. So it's either low leverage swing long or spot buys. You can spot buy, you can swing long this on Bybit. Bybit for me is my favorite trading platform. But you do have Weeks, which is a great alternative, guys. Weeks is absolutely awesome. You do just sign up with an email and a password. You get the biggest bonus and fee discount just using my link in the description, which is right over here. Weeks right now is one of the best alternatives to Bybit. Bluffin is pretty good as well. You got a good sign up bonus as well with the link down below. Andy, both you and 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽 are the best. Ayush, thank you very much, my man. 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽 is here. Yeah, I'm still holding on Rune. Trade Sumford on Rune. Never let a crisis go, says 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽. Guys, if you don't know who 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽 is, I know there's a lot of people watching here, and I know a lot of people might not know who 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽 is. You need to go and check him out because 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽 is an absolute legend. I'm going to pin here his channel right away. If I do get this right, because I got a tricky mouse today. There we go. I have him. If you don't know who 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽 is, guys, he's in the pinned comment. Go and check him out because he provides some insane educational content on technical analysis, looking for different scenarios. He's in the pinned comment, okay? If you don't know who 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽 is, he's in the pinned comment. He's this handsome dude right over here. And he provides insane value every single day, guys. Go and check him out. I was the 600th like, absolute legend. Let me know your comment, guy. Digital Tech. Digital Tech. What am I talking about? Make sure to drop off your favorite altcoin because we can take a look at it. Bitcoin is getting a little bit of a bounce right now. Not a hard long, guys. I mean, it was a hard long position. You know, this could be the moment that it does bounce from this area and takes out the highs. A bit of a hard long, not an easy double bottom scenario. Hard to catch the low, falling knife. There's not too much confluence in this area. Probably was, well, actually it was probably previous day point of control. Let me just double check here. It was previous day point of control. It was previous day point of control right there. A little bit of a falling knife. Previous day point of control was there. That is what is bouncing. A bit aggressive, but anybody that wants to trade point of control levels, looking at the session volume profile, the strategy applies as well, like a double bottom swing failure pattern failed auction scenario where you hit the previous day point of control, you dip beneath it. As soon as you get above it, it's a sniper long and a stop loss beneath the low. And as we are possibly looking to take out this high, that would be your take profit zone. I mean, you know, it's all information, it's all education, right? So, I mean, previous day point of control did hold here, but the way to trade it is the most important, which is basically longing the bounce, not longing as you get the falling knife. So you got your stop loss here and you're entering on the bounce. And I would be happily targeting the highs if you did manage to jump into that long. And you can be quite defensive right now with your stop loss. But yeah, I was not aware of that previous day point of control, but it is holding pretty nicely, right? You know, with that movement down. That would have been a pretty nice entry zone, because I was saying about I can't long this, guys. You know, there's no big major levels. It was actually the previous day point of control, which was an acceptable entry and an acceptable stop loss beneath the low. And you targeting the highs. I mean, risk to reward is really sexy here. That was your stop loss. And the reason why there is high probability in taking out this high, legends, was explained before. Taking out the low or not, taking out today's highs is extremely likely, just because with this movement down, this invalidates the potential of a fourth wave. Why? Because you got a initial wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4 retraced too much here. It retraced too much, giving you the high chance that this is corrective. All of this that's happening here is corrective, and you're going to take out this high at some point. So yeah, the fact that this was a successful impulse was broken based on this bounce. So yeah, if you did manage to catch that movement, I would be targeting the highs here. I mean, it's a really nice risk to reward. I would hold on tight to that long because you do have advantage in maximizing profits and taking out those highs. Let's go. How to find previous day point of control. This is basically going to the indicators and putting SVP, which is your session volume profile. Your session volume profile is going to give you the profile from every session, which is every day. This is where you find the highest volume node, which is the point of control, and that becomes your previous day point of control. And if you open the day without hitting the point of control, it becomes a naked point of control as well. So previous day point of control, that's how you find it. Very solid levels. It's the biggest volume area where it has been traded the previous day. So yesterday, where there's been more volume traded, has been at 92,180, which is right over here. And that is where we got the bounce. It was actually a pretty acceptable long position based on the strategy that we talk about here. Get the reaction, long, stop loss beneath the low of the reaction. And in this case, based on the analysis that we're reading throughout the last hour, it's high probability that you take out this high, which would be your take profit zone. That's how you find point of control, 𝗖𝗿𝗆𝗍𝗫. That's been said. Andy, say please. Say, I think it's in a good buying zone regarding spot. Okay, it was being mentioned. Previous day point of control is a typical support zone. Never heard it really. Yeah, of course it is. It's yeah, previous day point of control is always a good level of resistance or support. Look at this. You had the previous day point of control from the 8th of January on Wednesday, which did provide resistance today. I mean, it did provide resistance also yesterday. Previous day point of control, the highest volume node from Wednesday, resistance today. Previous day point of control provided support today. So it's a very good tool to give you confluence, right? You can add VWAP, you can add other stuff and look for your reaction levels and put stop loss below or above if it is resistance and take a shot. Legends, it is getting late for me. Is monthly candle pattern bear sign? Learn something new again. Thanks. Lawrence, you're very welcome. I remember Andy on Kadena. It will blow your socks off. The shirtless stream. Todd, I'm holding Kadena as well. Kadena has been a little bit of a... I'm still holding the bag, my man. I didn't sell any of this that I bought a few months ago. It's a shame because it's almost going to entry zone and it did over a 3x. But I had a strategy and the strategy did not work on this one. Some altcoins did claim the March highs. I was just about to take profits on my Kadena holdings from the area that we bought here at the 60, 70 cent zone. It's almost at break even. Yeah, but it's better buying here than buying here, right? Or buying any big sharp pullbacks. Never mind, we just have to hold on. Worst case scenario, we go to the break-even zone and wait for the next pump, right? But regardless, it's a good buying zone here, right? Worst case scenario, we go to break-even or a slight loss and hold on the unrealized losses. But this was a solid 3x. It was a solid 3x. We didn't quite reach the highs, which was the take profit zone and hold on to a moon bag. Some of them hit the highs, such as Constellation DAG, Fowler Network, PRQ. Some of them did hit those highs, which managed to lock in some profits and hold the moon bag. But this one didn't. Still holding that silly bag. Still holding the silly bag, but it's in small profits at the moment, regardless. What can we do? What can we do? This March high has to be hit. It was not hit here, so I do expect it to be hit at some point in the near future. What can we say? But at least we're not holding a major loss on this, right? People that FOMO'd in the last 2 months are the ones that are really holding on to this correction right now in a pain, right? Don't be that guy, guys. We never said about buying any coins on the pump here that we had in November, December. Never said about buying any coins throughout the pump in November, December. Because this could happen, right? So we hold on to very low levels. Legends, thank you very much for joining the stream. I really appreciate it. Thanks for smashing up the like button, almost to 700 likes. Absolute legends. It is Friday. Make sure to disconnect from the charts. Be careful with your trading. Spend time with family and friends. I will be back, of course, very soon. Remember that if you want more detailed updates and the modules where to learn a bit of Elliott wave theory, point of controls, different strategies, you do have the Legends trading community. You do have the modules there, okay? It's the first link down below. You have all of the information that you need to know to thrive and get those strategies working, back test them, okay? You have the modules and the Discord where we do provide information every single day, legends. You got the free Discord as well. Might as well join. There's some active people there and you can ask questions. Thank you very much. Check out the links as well for these different platforms. Okay, Weeks is without a doubt a golden platform, right? Just need an email and a password. You got the links down below as well, guys, to support the channel and get the best bonuses. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.